Bless you. Please, let him try and hurry up, please. Tonight on Global TV News Prime, FCTA launches Clear Air campaign, distributes free gas cylinder. And Business Credit Rating Agency upgrades Nigeria's economic outlook to positive on Nigeria. And on the foreign scene, United Nations Security Council set for vote on Trump's Gaza peace proposal. In sports, Nile University Unijust shine as NUGA 2025 basketball finals thrill fans. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Jumai Manson. A reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Now the news in full. Health workers under the Joint Health Sector Union, JHISU, and the Assembly of Healthcare Professional Associations have declared an indefinite nationwide strike over the government's failure to implement the adjusted consolidated health salary structure. The decision was announced in a statement signed by the national chairman of the JHISU, Comrade Kabir Ado Mininjibiri. The union says the delay persists despite previous agreement and multiple suspended strikes accusing the government of neglecting long-standing welfare and systematic issues in the sector. They noted that although the Presidential Committee on Salaries has finally been reconstituted, its action in the past 48 hours does not address years of unresolved commitments. The Federal Capital Territory Administration has launched a major environmental and public health campaign aimed at reducing air pollution in the nation's capital. The initiative themed Project Breathe Clean Air Abuja was unveiled at the Bola Ahmed Tinubu Conference Center by the Mandate Secretary for Health, FCTA, in partnership with IHS Towers. Over now to Kabir Hassan's report.
In an effort to tackle rising air pollution and promote healthier living, the FCTA, through the Mandate Secretary for Health, Adedolapo Fasawi, has unveiled a renewed campaign titled Project Breathe Clean Air Abuja. The campaign, Project Breathe Clean Air Abuja, focuses on discouraging open burning of waste, the use of firewood, indiscriminate tree cutting, and other practices that degrade air quality and endanger public health.
The focus of this is to address the renewed hope, is to tell Nigerians that if only we can put hands together and not wait for government alone, we can have a happy, peaceful, and prosperous Nigeria.
A major highlight of the event was the distribution of gas cylinders to residents and alternative means to promote clean cooking and reduce smoke-induced illness. The campaign is fully supported by IHS Towers, the project sponsors, as part of its commitment to environmental sustainability. Representative of the IHS Towers reaffirmed their readiness to partner with the FCTA in initiatives that support clean energy, environmental protection, and community welfare.
The key component of the program is first of all to give the cylinder, which is normally costly, to the beneficiaries, filled, and then we will also provide free fills few times during this program. And then for those who watched the documentary before, I mean, one of the women said that the cost of this gas is actually less than the cost of charcoal and wood, and it lasts longer. So hopefully they also would be able to sustain the use of gas going forward.
The FCTA says the campaign will be sustained across communities, noting that clear air is essential for reducing cases of asthma, bronchitis, and other respiratory diseases. Kabir Hassan reporting for Global TV News.
The People's Democratic Party (PDP) elective national convention has commenced at the Lekon Salami Stadium in Ibadan as fractional national chairman Umar Damagun hosts Governor Sheyi Makinde and Governor Umar Fintiri. Bala Mohammed and Dauda Lawal arrived alongside several senior party figures. Top PDP leaders including Chief Bode George, former Governor Olagunsoye Oyinlola, Senator Abba Moro, Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan, Santonji Keshodo, and other stakeholders filled the venue as preparations signaled the official start-off of the convention. As of the time of filing this report, the party leadership was receiving flags from various arms of the party and government indicating full participation in the high-stake convention. Now, in the meantime, there is a fresh unrest within the People's Democratic Party as senior figures from the South and Southeast accuse the party's national leadership of breaching its own rules. The chieftains say the recent congresses and preparations toward the national convention were marred by irregularities, prompting legal intervention and renewed calls for reforms. Ramsey Enoch Agbo completes the story.
At a media briefing in Abuja, leading members of the People's Democratic Party expressed deep reservations about the conduct of recent state congresses. According to them, the exercises were rushed, poorly coordinated, and failed to comply with the party's constitution and the Electoral Act. PDP Zonal Secretary for the South-South, Josh Tuna, said the processes leading to the congresses were fraught with procedural lapses. Tuna alleged that aspirants struggled to obtain nomination forms, while key guidelines meant to steer the congresses were either inaccessible or ignored. He said these irregularities forced him to seek judicial clarification.
I've jettisoned report of a high-level committee set up by the party's build and say they are going ahead with convention. Of course, this exonerates us and we are vindicated.
Other party leaders present echoed similar concern, urging the People's Democratic Party to urgently address internal rifts before they damage the party's prospect ahead of upcoming elections. They insisted that only a transparent rule-based process can restore confidence among members and reposition the party as an effective opposition.
In the suit filed by the former governor of Jigawa State, His Excellency Sule Lamido, who was disenfranchised, who was not allowed to obtain form to enable him contest in the convention that was being planned. He was upset and annoyed, being an elder statesman of this party.
As the People's Democratic Party (PDP) prepared for its convention, the call for credible internal processes is growing louder. Party members say the leadership must act decisively to close ranks, rebuild trust, and ensure the party enters the next political cycle with a united front. Ramsey Enoch Agbo reporting for Global TV News.
The new Nigeria People's Party is pushing back hard against what it calls an attempt to mislead the nation's electoral body. The party is warning the Independent National Electoral Commission to ignore a notice announcing proposed congresses and a convention allegedly issued by two individuals. The party insists have no legal standing within its structure. Anete Patrick has the details.
In Abuja, the leadership of the new Nigeria political party took a firm stance, declaring that no parallel congress or convention has been approved by the party. Addressing journalists, the National Secretary, Comrade Ogini Olakposi, Sunday said the party is appalled by what he describes as a deliberate attempt to create confusion ahead of its internal activities.
It is on that note that we have written a letter through my humble self and our lawyer to Independent National Electoral Commission to disregard any letter for notice of congresses or convention, fresh notice of congresses and convention of the Nigerian People's Party.
Ogini insisted that Dr. Ahmed Ajunji and Dikbo Olayokun, who circulated the notice, lack any authority to speak or act on behalf of the NNPP. He anchored the party's position on a judgment delivered by an FCT High Court on April 3, 2025. He says the court dismissed their suit and reaffirmed the legitimacy of the party's leadership under its founder and board of trustees, Chairman Dr. Boniface Okechukwu Anebona. He therefore urged INEC to recognize these executives and update its records accordingly.
As a judgment debtor, Dr. Ajuji and Mr. Olayoku has no right under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to parade themselves again as the officer of this party.
As political parties prepare for the next electoral cycle, the NNPP insists that clarity and legitimacy must guide engagement with the nation's electoral umpire. For now, the party says it will continue to defend. Anie Patrick, reporting for Global TV News.
The Nigerian Air Force says it has eliminated scores of terrorists in Zamfara after precision strikes targeted the Saru camp in Safe local government area following detailed intelligence on the group's movement and hideouts. According to the Air Component Coordinated Strike, passes hit key positions used as logistic hubs, forcing fleeing fighters into areas where they were tracked and neutralized. The Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal Sunday Aneke, reaffirmed the NAF's resolve to sustain aggressive operation to deny terrorists safe haven across the Northwest. You are watching the live broadcast of News Prime. News Prime returns. Now University Unijust shine as NUGA 2025 basketball finals thrill fans. Details coming shortly, plus business and foreign stories on the other side of this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back, and if you're just tuning in, this is News Prime on Global Television. In business now, S&P Global Ratings have reversed Nigeria's outlook from stable to positive, saying recent fiscal, monetary and economic reforms have strengthened confidence in the country's direction despite persistent revenue and debt service pressures. The agency highlighted improvement driven by exchange rate liberation, subsidy removal, tighter fiscal control, and rising oil production, noting that these measures have boosted growth prospects and improved macroeconomic stability. It now projects average GDP growth of 3.7% between 2025 and 2028, and warns the outlook could return to stable if reforms stall, while a full upgrade is possible within 12 months if fiscal and external indicators continue to strengthen. The World Bank supported innovation, development, and effectiveness in the acquisition of skills initiative ideas under Nigeria's Technical and Vocational Education and Training (TVET) program has continued to scale up youth empowerment as over 3,000 young Nigerians in Abuja begin a 6-month intensive training across multiple sectors. Strengthened monitoring systems have also been introduced to ensure accountability and improved outcomes. Details will come in our subsequent bulletin. The The presidential nominee for co-chairmanship position on the board of unclaimed trust funds, Obehi Odesua Okafor, has assured the Senate of productive investments of the fund if her appointment is confirmed. The nominee gave the assurance during her screening by the Senate Committees on Finance, Banking, Insurance, and other financial institutions. Here is Topsy Gimba's report.
An unclaimed funds trust fund is a government-managed fund, like the one established by Nigeria's Financial Act 2020, where unclaimed dividends and dormant account balances are transferred after a specified period of inactivity, example 6 years. The purpose is to make these funds available for government use, with the stipulation that the original owners can claim their money from the government later, although the process for claiming them can be unclear. While the government manages and potentially invests the funds are held in trust for the rightful owners until they are claimed.
My mission with the unclaimed funds is capital preservation. Aside from governance, I will optimize the returns of the unclaimed funds.
Explaining her mission for the fund, Mrs. Okafor said it shall be capital preservation driven by productive investment, all for expanding the physical landscape of the country.
We need to productively invest those funds. As they come to us, we maximize returns, but we also manage the risk prudently as we invest the funds.
Earlier before her presentation, the chairman of the committees, Senator Mohammed Sani Musa, Niger East, and Senator Adetokunbo Abiru, Lagos East, tasked her to justify her nomination by explaining her mission for the unclaimed fund.
The trust fund is just holding a trust for Nigerians. When you invest this money, that whatever is made out of it, the accruals will also be shared with the owners of the funds.
Report on the screening exercise shall be presented to the Senate by the Joint Committee on Tuesday next week for final consideration and appointment confirmation. Topsy Gimba reporting for Global Television News.
And on the foreign scene, United Nations Security Council will vote Monday on a resolution backing President Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan, which proposes a transitional governing board of peace and a temporary international stabilization force to work alongside regional partners. The latest draft introduces a reference to a possible fixture Palestinian state, marking a shift from earlier visions as negotiations gained urgency. The United States, alongside Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, and other nations, is urging the Council to adopt the resolution swiftly as fighting between Israel and Hamas enters its third year. In the meantime, South African President Cyril Ramaphosa says more than 150 Palestinians who arrived in Johannesburg on chartered flight will not be returned back despite lacking proper travel documents. The passengers who were held on their plane for hours were released after government intervention are now being processed, with many expected to seek asylum. Authorities say some have already traveled onward, while the rest are being accommodated by humanitarian groups. In sports now, the 27th Nigerian University Games NUGA 2025 basketball finals delivered electrifying matchups, with Nile University and ABU Zaria clashing in the men's final, while the University of Jos took on Nasarawa State University in Puslantin female showdown, an atmosphere that transformed the Unijos Sports Complex into heartbeats of university athletes in Nigeria. Our sports correspondent Samuel Odi reports for Global TV.
The male final between Nile University and ABU Zaria produced a tight and tactical contest, with both sides displaying strength, discipline, and remarkable individual brilliance, but Nile University secured victory. In the female category, the excitement soared even higher as the home team, University of Jos, faced Nasarawa State University in a contest charged with rivalry and regional pride. The game drew support for University of Jos Gladiators as they fought to secure victory on home soil. The Vice-Chancellor of University of Jos, Professor Tanko Ishaya, expressed delight at the quality of play and the atmosphere of unity the games has fostered, and he said University of Jos exceeded its expectations.
This
INEC Chairman Professor Joseph Amaputan applauded universities for their commitment to the growth of sport and urged Nigerian FAs to take advantage of NUGA in scouting athletes that would represent Nigeria in the global stage. The SUG president expressed gratitude to all participants for adhering to the rules of the games, and she says the next NUGA edition for universities will yield a more positive result.
Anticipation, very certain that the University of Jos will capitalize on this. Ensure that we hold our skill in terms of football, basketball, and also the game of sports. Something that was really excellent.
Amid the intensity, the event was more than just a competition. It was a celebration of youth development, sportsmanship, and growing stature of NUGA as a strategic pipeline for national sports excellence. Samuel Odi for Global Television News.
Victor Osimhen is expected to lead Nigeria's attack on Sunday as the Super Eagles face DR Congo in Rabat in a decisive playoff for the place in the next year's Intercontinental Qualification Tournament. Nigeria reached the final after Osimhen scored twice in extra time against Gabon, while Congo advanced with a late winner against Cameroon. With 9 goals in his last few outings, Osimhen remains the biggest threat and says he intends to improve his tally through the loser of the match will be eliminated from the race of a spot in the expanded 4/18 2026 World Cup. Stephen Curry delivered 49 points, including the winner free throws, as Golden State urged the Spurs 109-108 intense NBA Cup match marked by 13 lead chances and another standout performance by Victor Wembanyama. Curry hit 9 3-points and went perfect from the line, outlasting a Spurs side that relied on Wembanyama's 26 points and 12 rebounds and strong support from De'Aaron Fox. The result gave the Warriors back-to-back wins in San Antonio, boosting their cup campaign as group stage matches continue. As Global TV News Prime comes to an end, here is a recap of our top stories again. Brought to you that the Federal Capital Territory Administration has launched a major environmental and public health campaign aimed at reducing air pollution in the nation's capital. In business, S&P Global Ratings has reversed Nigerians' outlook from stable to positive, saying recent fiscal, monetary, and economic reforms have strengthened confidence in the country's direction despite persistent revenue and debt service pressures. And on the following, the United Nations Security Council will vote Monday on a resolution backing President Donald Trump's Gaza peace plan, which proposes a transitional governing board of peace and temporary international stabilization force to work alongside regional partners. And in sports, the 27th National Nigerian University Games NUGA 2025 basketball finals delivered electrifying matchups, with Nile University and ABU Zaria clashing in the men's final, while the University of Jos took on Nasarawa State University in Pulsating female showdown. And that's it on Global TV News Prime. A quick reminder that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms now showing on your screen by using @Global TV NG. I am Jumai Manson. Thank you for watching.